Fennu praying, the tiny vessel was cast into the Firth of Forth. She drifted on the tide, out towards the sea, the water lapping at her feet as she desperately tried to avoid capsizing. She frantically scooped the water with her hands, but the land began to vanish and the water grew darker. She approached the Isle of May, and here her spirits were lifted. The fish followed her, as did seals and the gulls above. She was no longer alone. A small vessel miraculously began to move back into the firth. Exhaustion overcame her, and she closed her eyes. When the morning mist cleared and the shore appeared before her, there she landed, by Cwrys in Fife. Kegs were concealed everywhere. They had been hidden in folks' houses, concealed in barns, and camouflaged in hollows and cracks in the rocks. As the Gorgers searched people's homes, they discovered a strange wave of illness seems to have hit the area, as many of the wives had taken to bed, and under the sheets were the kegs in positions too delicate for any customs man to search. One customs man, fully aware what the bump under the bed covers really were, asked the woman, "What's under that blanket there, hen?" "Och, it's my leg," she replied, pretending to be ill. He studied it, then looked at her. "For sure, I haven't seen such a muckle swelling as that. Your husband maun sleep on the flare." "Weel," she replied, "the nicht, he may just do that." A wave slammed him from behind, pushing him over and sweeping him forward, and once again his head was submerged in freezing water. But when the sea retreated, finally he found himself lying on a stony beach. Exhausted, he managed to drag himself up and watched as his boat was minced on the rocks only a few metres away. Some of his men had already reached the beach, while others were swirling in the angry waves amongst the wreckage of the boat. But the waves brought men ashore. They came sweeping and tumbling with each crash of water. Some were badly hurt and had to be dragged away before the sea could reclaim them. But eventually Althaema saw all his crew come ashore alive. They had survived the storm, but their boat was utterly destroyed. She knelt over him, saying a prayer, asking God to forgive her, and pleading that her child be accepted into heaven. And then in a frenzy she covered him with soil and dirt, with a blanket of leaves and twigs, to hide his presence forever. She stood over him and wiped her face. It was done. She now had to return to the fields and pretend nothing had happened. It was vital she never returned to her son, for she might be found out. She must be strong. In all this, she forgot one thing. She forgot to give her son a name. He crept as quietly as he could towards its origins, and as he got closer, he started to hear laughter and singing and music. It sounded like a party or a ceilidh. Yet there was something eerie and unusual in the manner of the voices. Tam's instinct told him to be very careful, so he lay down and moved like a lizard towards the gathering.